Keeping calm under pressure isn't about turning off emotions, but about learning to channel them in ways that serve rather than sabotage. Pressure sharpens, it demands focus, pulls energy to the surface. It's a sensation, a kind of heat, and that's often where people get thrown off. The trick is not to deny it, but to reshape it. It helps to think of pressure as the body's wake-up call, like a personal trainer urging it to be ready. The heartbeat rises, the breath quickens, and this response can be embraced instead of suppressed. Every reaction, every choice in those high-pressure moments, becomes more potent. Pressure magnifies, distorting the scale of decisions, but also sharpens, bringing what matters into focus. The skill here isn't to numb out those nerves, but to let them rise, and then ground them. A practical tool is the breath. Breath is an anchor, and with just a few deep, intentional inhales, it can steady, slow the heart, and center thought. Physiologically, a deep breath counteracts adrenaline's burst. Emotionally, it buys a precious pause, a second to step back and observe the pressure instead of being overwhelmed by it. There's also power in perspective. Pressure is often a creature of thought. One anticipates failure, expects criticism, or worries about the outcome. But breaking down these anticipations into tangible steps reclaims control from the worry loop. Pressure preys on vague fears, so defining the goal, what success really looks like, strips away much of that dread. It's amazing how often people think they're responding to one thing but are actually reacting to a swirl of what-ifs and assumptions. Then, there's the matter of self-talk. People under pressure often become their own worst critics, hearing their inner voice magnify every flaw. Instead, consciously framing these moments as opportunities to learn, grow, or adapt shifts that narrative. No situation has to be perfect, it has to be functional. The point is progress, not perfection. Keeping self-talk supportive and solution-focused takes practice, but changes the game. In high-stakes situations, simple techniques can bring powerful results. Visualize a stable mind as a still pond. Thoughts and worries may drop in like stones, but a calm mind allows the ripples to fade rather than amplifying them. This isn't about ignoring reality, it's about training the mind to stay undisturbed. Whether in a sports game or giving a presentation, the ability to let go of minor stumbles prevents the spiral into distraction. Time perception also shifts under pressure, everything feels immediate, demanding. A decision might seem like it must happen instantly. The mind compresses, speeds up, and pushes for rapid answers. But deliberate pacing, consciously slowing down one's movements, even gestures or speech, counters this sensation. It's a way of reasserting control over the rush. Just because the environment feels rushed doesn't mean reactions must follow suit. Another overlooked aspect of staying calm under pressure is body language. The body reflects the mind, and adopting an open, strong posture can send the brain signals of confidence and stability. It sounds almost superficial, but the body and mind are deeply connected. Stand grounded, feet planted, spine straight, shoulders relaxed, and something internal shifts. Tension may initially rise, but maintaining a steady posture actually assists in regulating that energy. Pressure is also a form of resistance training for the mind. Each challenging moment builds resilience. This resilience compounds over time, so the next moment under pressure feels just slightly more manageable. It's helpful to look back on past moments, situations that once felt overwhelming but that passed with time. Reflecting on these not only reinforces the mind's capacity to cope but also establishes a sense of continuity. Pressure doesn't last, it ebbs and flows, and that knowledge can be empowering. Finally, there's value in remembering that pressure itself is a complement. It means there's something at stake worth caring about. If nothing mattered, there'd be no tension. Recognizing this, it becomes easier to lean into pressure with appreciation, rather than just tolerating it. Pressure isn't a sign of weakness or failure, it's a crucible for growth. Mastering it means stepping toward it rather than shrinking away.